Today's video is all about red flags that you should avoid while looking for a guild, playing with a guild, or joining a guild. Now, I have done a video of this nature before, and back in the day, it was mostly for World of Warcraft. This one is for all MMORPGs, not Albion Online, not just Albion Online, not just World of Warcraft, but any guild, any gaming guild out there. These are the red flags that you should avoid. Let's get right into it. But before we do, I just want to cover my previous video on this subject. Went over loot councils, streamer guilds, and stressful guilds only caring about performance. If you are curious about that video, then it looks something like this. It's titled, WoW Classic Guild Guide, Avoid Bad Guilds, Red Flags to Avoid, Don't Let Guilds Do This to You. It's got the Chad in the thumbnail, and it's pretty funny. It's pretty well edited. Lots of interesting, fun things here in that video. But with that said, we're going to be talking about more serious red flags. Red flag number one is, how does the guild master treat all of the members, okay? So if you've ever joined a guild and the guild master seems like a pretty chill guy to you, but for some reason, whenever you're all in a Discord voice call, he seems to pick on a few members either because they're drunken, or maybe because they sound like Kermit the Frog, or maybe they're a bit of a video game troll. If the guild master is singling people out and basically, taking the piss, bullying them, making fun of them, or demeaning them in front of other members, this is a huge red flag, because eventually, if you are not part of his inner circle and his best friend, you will be on the chopping block just like the other members who are being belittled by the guild master. And of course, depending on the guildmaster's personality, most other members will follow his lead and also belittle said members. Usually guildmasters do this to try to get people to leave their community without having to actually kick them, which is another red flag if they can't just man up and get rid of members that they don't like, and they instead have to e-bully them and make fun of their Kermit the Frog voice. This is just a red flag. It's a silly red flag to have, but so many guilds have this, where they have the guild village idiot, they have the guild punching bag. So if your guildmaster or officers or inner circle in a guild are mistreating a few specific members, just know that down the line eventually you're going to be that village idiot too. So avoid guilds like this. Alright, red flag number two is a little bit of a complicated one, so listen up. The in real life status of the guildmaster, the officers of the guild, and the inner circle of the guild. Now this one is more so about caste systems, as in wealth inequality. Alright, now this is where it's going to sound kind of cringe, but hear me out, okay? If you grew up majority poor, living in motels and trailer parks, and you haven't had a blessed life or a very easy life, and you live in the ghetto and the trash heap and the dirt, but the guildmaster and his, posse of close friends and the officers all grew up in privilege in nice white picket fence neighborhoods, gated communities, double-decker houses, they went to nice schools, they have nice office jobs, and you're in the trenches digging ditches, or you're in, working fast food or retail. It is technically a red flag, and let me explain why, okay? So, you will never be respected if you are outside of the guild's caste, okay? If you're an office wagee and you're working with other office wagees, then fine, you'll mesh in quite well, but if you're not, like, if you're on the poor end and they're all on the upper, earners end, you're going to be seen as dirt. You're going to be seen as inhuman. You're going to be seen as a lesser creature, and this is the absolute truth. I've lived through that. I have been in gaming guilds over, 20 years at this point, and believe me, if you are not in the majority caste of the guild, then you will be seen as an outsider. You will be seen as inferior to them. And the reverse can be true. If you are in a guild where the guild leader is like an ex-gangster, drug-slinging, whatever, street dweller, and you're a high fancy, software engineer that plays Warhammer on the weekends, then you're going to be really out of place, and you're not going to be able to hang with the homies. So you're going to have to find a new guild that better suits your in-real-life status. That's just how it is. I don't really agree with how people treat each other, but that's just how it is. If you are not part of the caste of the main guild leaders, the officers and whatnot, then you just will never fit in. You will never be seen as one of them. There's just no point in wasting 11 months with a guild whenever they're just going to kick you out and make fun of you for how poor you are or whatever. It's just don't waste your time. Red flag number 3 is chasing virtual greed. What this can be loot in an MMORPG. This could be expensive mounts on a war game, expensive spaceships, you name it. If they are only caring about virtual greed, as in the success and conquest of virtual goods, then you are not a friend, you're not a guildie, you're just a coworker, you're a cog in the machine. You're going to be used to meet their virtual ends. Once they have their top-end armor set, once they have the best in slot gear in the game, they'll probably quit and leave you in the dust with nothing to do. They don't respect you as a person or a friend. You are just a means to an end to them. So if all your guild does is care about and chase virtual greed, then it is a huge red flag, and you should avoid them at all costs. You can very easily snuff this out because, like I said in my previous video, loot councils are a thing, you know, people that try too hard in a video game. The purpose of playing a video game is not to win. It's not to pad your kill-death ratio. It's not to pad your win-loss ratio. It's not to get the epic loot. It is to make friends and to make everlasting memories and have people to relate with once the game dies and you can move on to other games. That's the point of video games, is to have fun and create memories. The point of a guild is to find like-minded friends to enjoy these games with. Yes, if you only care about virtual greed, by all means join a virtual greed guild, but you're not watching this video if you only care about your little pixels and your little glowing fire swords and stuff like that. You're watching this because you want to join a wholesome guild and make some friends and have people to socialize with and make memories with. Alright, the next red flag is when you reunite with an old guild that maybe you played with 10 to 20 years ago. I know this isn't relevant for a lot of you if you're younger, but it will be later down in your lifetime. So it's important that you hear this now and remember this so that when the time comes, you don't get left in the dust, okay? So reuniting with an old guild from people that you used to play with back in your heyday. Maybe you decided to make your real life job your main focus, so you can no longer be in that guild, or you just gave up the internet, or you moved on from whatever games they were playing, or whatever, okay? Let's say you joined a guild back in the day, and they were a very rambunctious bunch of guildies. They were very fun to be around. They were very wild party animals. You know, they had lots of fun. They were very freedom of speech oriented and whatnot. Just whatever guild that you like, and you had a lot of fun with them. So you decide 10 years later to reunite with them to play a new game, like maybe New World, for instance, or something. And then you realize that a lot of these guildies, they've lost their edge. They're no longer fun internet trolls. They've become HR managers and office wages. They've started families, and they only care about their crypto and their business investments and, you know, paying people to, like, edit videos for them or something so that they can make extra money on the side. Basically, video games took a backseat. They matured. You know, they've moved on from their fun attitudes and their wild ways, and they're just not the same old guild that you remember. And maybe you haven't moved on. You haven't grown up. You haven't started a family, because why would you in today's age? Let's be real. But you're expecting the old guildies from back in the early days, and what you end up finding out is that they're just like everyone else. They've basically sold their soul, became NPCs, and they are not the people that you remember. So while this could be a red flag or not, it's more of a just beware if you try to reunite with old guildies after 10 plus years, because they won't be the same people that you remember them as, and you won't have as much fun, and it'll be a huge waste of time. Red flag number 5, inner circle secret clubs. Alright, if you are in a guild and they have a special channel only for officers and only for the inner circle in their Discord, or you find out that the guild master only hangs out with his inner circle and no one else, he doesn't run dungeons with the plebes, he doesn't run dungeons with the lowly new members or anything, then this is a huge red flag, okay? This is signs of a wagey guild that chases virtual greed, okay? Or a very antisocial guildmaster, a very antisocial inner circle, okay? Yeah, if you are in the inner circle, great, you've already won. If you're already an officer and you're in the inner circle, great, you've already won. There's nothing to worry about. But if you're just a random member that joined and you're not part of the crew, so to speak, if every time you're in Discord, everyone's hanging out in these secret channels that you can't even see, and sometimes they pull you into these channels to have a talk with you or whatever, then get the fuck out of there. This is not a guild with your best interest in mind. You will never be part of the inner circle no matter how many months of hard work and socialization and hanging out with the guild master every single night for like 6 months at a time while ignoring your YouTube channel and your streaming opportunities are. You should just not bother. It's a complete absolute waste of time here to even try to get into their inner circle, because let's go to number 6. Number 6 is being hated by the officers or the inner circle. It doesn't matter how cool the guild master is, if he likes you, if he thinks of you as a friend or as a comrade or even as a valuable gamer. If his inner circle and his officers do not like you for whatever reason, eventually your time will be up and you'll just be randomly kicked out, unfriended, ghosted, banned, just disowned from the guild. So don't waste your time. If you are not very in good relations with the inner circle or the officers, just get the hell out of there. And, you know, people will hate you for whatever reason. There will always be haters in life. But if it happens to be the inner circle and the officers, just even one of them. Because let me tell you, these guys have probably known the guildmaster since they were in like high school or something, or since they played some really old like MMORPG like EverQuest or something, okay? You're not going to suddenly win them over if you have it in the first few weeks. They're never going to like you. They're going to see you as if competition. If the guildmaster likes you and the officers don't, eventually the officers and inner circle that do not like you will eventually try to poison the guildmaster into hating you. This is just how social circles tend to work. If they don't like you, they will do everything in their power to shame you, demean you, and get you out of their community, regardless if the guildmaster loves you or not. It's just that simple. You should just get the hell out if you are not liked by their inner circle. Red flag number 7 is kind of covered by the other red flags, but let me go into more detail here. If the guild that you join has core values. Now, what is a core value in a guild? It can be a guild that's like, we are a guild focused on PvP. We are a guild focused on killing people that pick the animal races in an MMORPG, like the cat girls, okay? If you're in an MMORPG and your guild is focused on killing cat girls, then let's say the guildmaster and the officers start recruiting cat girls into the guild, okay? Because these cat girls happen to have the best armor in the game, the best weapons in the game. Maybe they have like 20 friends that they can also cat girls that they can invite into the guild, right? But what if you join the guild because you don't really enjoy cat girls? You don't want to be around cat girls. You want to be in a guild with humans only. Okay, but suddenly the guildmaster is like, you know what? I really like these really expensive $2,000 spaceships that these cat girls have, and I want them in my guild. So they invite cat girls into the guild, and they disregard their core values that makes the guild what it is, and suddenly, before you know it, all the cat girls, they know that you don't like them, and then you're out. The cat girls have more expensive spaceships than you, and the cat girls outnumber you, so the guildmaster has to choose you or the cat girls with really nice spaceships. So if a guild starts crumbling over its core values, get the hell out. Alright, this is a really big red flag, one of the more important ones in the video, and that is inhibiting your freedoms, okay? That means trying to control how you play, what you can use to play. I understand, like, if you're a healer and your spec is like shadow damage or something, and they want you to heal, and they won't let you do shadow damage. I mean, in that case, it's just like, well, you signed up to be a healer, bro, right? You can't just suddenly switch, man. We're going to be out of healer. I understand that kind of stuff. I'm talking about if they are trying to infiltrate a forum board or something, or, you know, make posts about the game, and then you decide to troll the posters, like they make a Reddit thread and you decide to troll on Reddit, and they tell you to delete your posts, it's over. That's inhibiting freedom of speech right there. If they try to force you to use certain gear that you don't want to use, even though you know that the gear you're using is better, if they try to force you to use certain guns and FPSs, if they try to force you to play exactly how they play, they don't have your interest in mind. They only have their interest in mind. So if a guild starts limiting your freedoms of what you can do and how you can play, then just get out. Just don't even bother. Just find a guild that lets you do what you want to do. Red flag number 9 is if long-standing valuable members start disappearing, start vanishing. Like you just log into the Discord one day and like a whole bunch of people are gone, okay, and they won't tell you why, and they won't explain why or what they did, or they make up stories. This is a big one too. Let's say you're in a guild and one of your favorite, guildies is suddenly gone, and you ask, well, what did he do? And they say, well, he was caught ninja looting an Arcage, and we can't have that. And you're like, well, that's weird. That guy's never ninja looted before, doesn't even care about Arcage, or even really plays Arcage. What do you want about, right? But all the officers in Inner Circle swear that he ninja looted, so of course you contact the guy, and then you learn that he didn't even have Arcage installed. So that's kind of weird, And it turns out that they just kicked him because he was saying gamer words in the chat on New World or something before he uninstalled. Like, if guilds are going to lie about why they're kicking members or try to keep it secretive, it's a little weird. Or if they just, take long-standing members that have been very valuable to the cause and are very active in social and Discord, and they just kick them one day and won't say why without a good reason, that's very sus. Like, I was in a guild, and this one guy did not like cryptocurrency, and I personally don't. I think it's fake money, it's whatever. It's for rich people, right? But this guy was very he was an anti-coiner, so to speak. But the guildmaster was pro-coin, and so he just kicked him out after, being in the guild for 4 years and being one of his, top generals in all these games. He just kicked him out because he loves crypto more than he loves his friendships and his bonds with actual people. So that's a huge red flag that you should avoid, if that's the case. Red flag number 10, really simple stuff. If the guild master, the inner circle, the officers are druggies, if they are alcohol abusers, they're constantly drunk, this is eventually going to cause huge problems down the line. They're going to be drunk and do drunk decisions. They're going to be high on shrooms or some other weird drugs, and they're just going to take it out on the members. They're going to freak out one day, and it's just going to be really, really wild. You should just get out while you can. In real life drama is another one also. If guild members are starting to stalk each other in real life and go to their jobs and try to just harass each other, then it's over. It's basically get the hell out, because if they're going to be doing it to each other, they're eventually probably going to be doing it to you. If the guild has a bias against you, or maybe something that you do, like your lifestyle choices, then it is a red flag and that you should immediately leave. Let me give you an example in my case. I'm a YouTuber. There are older guilds, people aged 40 and 50 plus, who absolutely hate YouTube. They hate YouTubers. They hate Twitch streamers. They think that we're a parasite on the gaming. They think that, in the old days, they would make a website and set up guild recruitment stuff, but nowadays, everyone just follows YouTubers and obsesses over YouTubers and videos, right? That's just how the world is. So when you have these angry ashes of creation guilds seething at the fact that Asmongold gets a free $2,000 character pass when they had to pay $2,000, and they just hate streamers and hate Twitch streamers and YouTubers, well, guess what? If I'm in a guild surrounded by people that hate YouTubers, and I myself am a YouTuber, then that means they just hate me, and no amount of being different, no amount of anything will change their mind. They will still secretly talk crap behind my back, as proven by having secondary accounts set in voice channels, recording the conversations. Yes, this is a real thing. And, it's just oh, so that's what they really think about me. So if, the guildmaster, the officers, inner circle have a bias against you, or even the majority of the members, it's not a good guild to be in. You should just move on. Another one is too much time spent away from the guild or games, okay? If they are going to be a guildmaster, if they're going to be officers and inner circle people, and they are spending the majority of their time with their families or doing real-life activities like working a job, then it's a red flag. That means they will have very little time to manage, run, or play the games that you want to play with them. So this is bad for you. Now, it could be opposite, where, everyone's just a wagey and they all have to work 12-hour shifts and drive 2 hours in traffic. I used to be there, and you know what I did? I just didn't have time for guilds, so that's just how it was. That's just how life is. But if you're in a guild and everyone's too busy working all the time, or they just log in for raid night and they do their one raid and then they log off the rest of the week, that's not a guild you should join. That is a huge red flag. You should just get the hell out of there. It's not going to last as long as the game's lifespan is. You should really, really just find a more active guild. If the guild officers, guild leader have mental problems, maybe they're a cocaine addict, maybe they just have random bouts of insanity or they just become insanely angry and scream over their microphone, this is a red flag that you should move on. This is a red flag for anything in life if someone has huge mental problems where their emotions are completely unstable over video game pixels. Oh no, my ship blew up. I'm going to scream at you because the game is bugged and you can't do the thing that I requested you to do, so I'm just going to yell at you at the top of my lungs. Oh no, in Albion Online, you brought the wrong items. I'm going to scream at you as loud as possible until you change your gear set. This is not healthy for anybody. You should avoid guilds where it's a video game. No one should be screaming at anyone. If even in real life, if you're working a job and your boss is screaming at you, then there's something wrong. Red flag 14 is, does the guild have a fear of public opinion against it? Let's say, for example, you're playing World of Warcraft, and one of your members is killing the bracket stacking bots. So, of course, the entire server's like, oh, your guildie is killing the bracket stacking bots. How dare he? And then your guild is, they really care about their public opinion, so they try to punish you for it. Or what if you're in a guild and suddenly there's a bunch of Reddit threads about how nasty the guild was back in the PlanetSide days, right? And why would, if a guild cares about the public opinions of outsiders, it is not a guild for you. They are just in it for the money. They are just in it for the virtual greed. They're trying to run their guild like some sort of business, okay? If I'm with a group of friends and some people who we don't even know have a bad opinion of us, we would just laugh at them and think it's hilarious, right? But if your guild is very wary of public opinion, they think that, oh, the guild's public opinion must be pristine, how dare you sully the name, then they don't care about you, they just care about running their guild like some sort of creepy business. This one should go without saying, but if the guild forces itself to play a game that the members, the officers, and the guildmaster do not have any reason to play, they don't like the game, but they're only playing the game because they want to recruit people to their guild, then that is a huge red flag, alright? Why would you play a video game that you don't like for the sake of recruiting members in it, alright? There are guilds out there that will play the newest, biggest MMO, even though they hate the hell out of it. There was so many guilds in New World that played New World simply for the sake of recruiting members to their gaming guild. So as soon as they recruited a bunch of people, they just quit New World, and hopefully they kept some of the members around. That was their goal. Their goal wasn't to play or enjoy the game. It was just to recruit people to their, basically their company. Yeah, it's a weird one, but it is out there. Red flag number 17, and I am I am very guilty of this in the past because I have run several World of Warcraft guilds, and I'm even guilty of it in Albion Online, and that is Zerg Recruiting. That is just recruiting everybody, being absolutely all-inclusive. Oh, you want to join the guild you're in? That's actually a red flag, and I've learned this throughout the years, that if you join a guild where everyone is welcome, then there's no substance. You are just a cog in a machine. You're just a number. Or there's no socialization. That's what happened with my Albion guilds. You can see right here, go to my alliance here. I have, 1,924 people. This was like 2,700 at some point. And let me tell you, that sounds like very impressive, having 1,900 alliance members, right? But the reality is that no one socialized with each other. No one made bonds with each other. No one even played with each other. They just joined the guild for the benefits. And when I did the same thing in World of Warcraft Cataclysm, everyone simply joined my guild because it was the highest leveled guild on the server, so they got those guild leveling perks and XP perks and all that kind of stuff, right? And I never really did anything with this. Like, I didn't tax any of my guilds, but I could have absolutely taxed the hell out of these 2,700 alliance members that I once had and made a killing on silver, but I chose not to because I don't really care about virtual greed. But don't join Zerg guilds. Don't join mass recruit guilds. There are add-ons in World of Warcraft that just invite everyone on the entire server to your guild, and I'm also guilty of using these add-ons back in the day, in the past, when I was young and foolish. But do not join these guilds. They are not going to be social. There's no direction, there's no mission, there's no point to it. Yeah, if you just want to get the perks of being in a big ass guild that's high leveled or whatever, then it's a temporary solution when you would be way better off finding people that you can play with and have adventures with, and ultimately create memories and make lifelong friendships with. Alright, so this red flag is not really the biggest red flag. It's probably one of the weaker ones in the video, but if the guild you join is a generic name with generic members and just overall genericness, NPC, mentality, most of these guilds have stupid Latin names or just very generic names that can't be Google searched. A guild should be a brand that is unique in its own. Like, don't name your guild McDonald's, because if you Google search McDonald's guild, you're just going to get McDonald's, okay? You're not going to get the actual guild. But generic members, they just log in for raid night, they chill, and then they log off. There's nothing really going on. You don't have to join like a weird themed guild where everyone has to dress as a clown and say crazy stuff in world chat or anything like that. But very generic guilds do not last. They burn out, they dissolve, they disband, they have infighting, and so on and so forth. So just avoid generic guilds. Alright, you should also avoid guilds run by actual real criminals. These could be like drug sellers, maybe manufacturers of illegal goods, people that go out and do robberies, and, just all sorts of things. The reason why is eventually they will be caught and jailed, and then you're just without your healer for that night, or you're without your main tank, or the guild completely falls apart because the guildmaster's serving 10 years in prison. And finally, do not involve yourself in guilds with conflicting personalities. Let's say that you're a criminal. You wouldn't want to join a guild that's filled with ex-military and ex-cops or active duty police officers, right? Maybe you're a rambunctious, like a troll of sorts. You like to do mischief, and you wouldn't want to be in a guild full of school teachers and principals and school staff. So don't join guilds where, and you really won't know these until after you've joined, but don't stick around. Like, if you're very rebellious and you like to do your own thing, and everyone seems to be, like, working in HR, it's not going to be fun for you, because they're just going to see you as a creature, and you're going to see them as some stupid authority figure that's, basically doing, just messing with people, essentially. Like, the way I see it is, certain people in certain industries are just there to bully kids. They're just there to mistreat others, and they get off on the power trip, okay? So why would I want to surround myself in a guild with those kinds of people? And you may say, well, it's for the items, for the loot. No, that's not what guilds are for. It's for creating epic memories with people that I agree with. So I'm going to surround myself with people that I agree with, either, spiritually or politically or financially even. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm Swole Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. If you thought this video was useful or helpful, or you want to help me out financially, because maybe you have a fancy office job and you have plenty of spendable, expendable income, then click the thanks button down below. Leave me a donation. Everyone can see it. It's a big flex. You can also become a channel member, which will give you access to private, more personal videos. Some of them are pretty good. I wish there was more, but they are pretty tough to make, and I don't like to make super exclusive videos. I like to make videos for everyone, so every once in a while, I'll make something that I don't want the public to see, or something more personal. That's what those videos are. You can click the join button. It's $5 a month. It's like being subscribed on Twitch. Become a channel member. Alright, also, I make videos every day on this channel, and I read every comment. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video. On the screen right now is a video that you should click, so click that video. And if you want, join the Discord, because I'm probably going to start my own guild. Discord link is in the description of the video. Go ahead, give it a join. It'll be a fun time. See you tomorrow. Make sure you're subbed so you don't miss it.